Hello, everyone. How are you? This is Dagmar, your spiritual healer and teacher. And today we'll be talking about creating your independence aligned with your soul or aligned with your authentic self. If you're watching right now, give us a comment as to where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. I have quite a few bit of material to go through. So, wow, what a subject. Creating your independence aligned with your soul. Now, never ever before have you been more supported by the entire universe to do exactly that, to align with yourself and to live independently and free as a soul. But there's a bit of work that goes into that. And particularly the part where we need to reach that authentic part of ourselves. You know, when we look at, what is exactly the authentic part of ourselves, who is that as part of us, right? We're born into this life or into any life with playing a certain role. We put on a certain, personality that's kind of like our mask. And then we have accumulated certain amount of pain, even from past lifetimes that we carry over. And we develop certain behavior in this, box that we created for ourselves, or this costume that we're carrying. And, I'm here to tell you that that is not who you actually are. You're not your personality. You're not your pain. You're not that mask that you're wearing. It's so funny. I got to share the story with you because when I was in my twin flame journey, we lived together for a while. And he was very resistant to the metaphysical world or my healing, abilities or world. And one time I remember he was having sort of a panic attack. And we kind of went to bed and I, put my hand on his chest and, helped calm him down. And pretty soon he was asleep, snoring. So, it really helped him, whatever I did there. And so the next morning, early morning, we both kind of woke up and he thanked me for, helping him with his panic that he was experiencing. And it's so funny because he never, ever does that or would do that. And so, this was like 5 a.m. and then he went back to sleep. And then later we got up and, it was like 8 o'clock and I started talking to him and I said, it was really cool. I really appreciate the fact that you thanked me for helping you out. And he says to me and looks at me kind of strange and says, I didn't say anything like that. He completely did not remember saying that to me. And here's what I figured out later is why, is because it was his spirit talking to me, thanking me for what I did for him. While when he fully woke up and fully was there, I was again talking to his personality, his role that he had here, which was very rigid, very easily offended, resistant to the whole healing field. And so, that once that personality came on, he was a different person. So I'm trying to tell you, you are not, the resistance you're feeling. You're not the procrastination. You're not your response or reactions to your unresolved pain. You're not your pain. You're not that facade that you put on when you came into this life, this personality. That's not who you are. So who is the authentic self? So who is that? Who is that part of you? It's really that inner core, the light that you are, we call it your soul, but it's that inner core light that carries your pearls. That's your authentic self. And it's without the clutter that we accumulate throughout life and throughout past lifetimes, which is the unresolved pain. It adds the clutter to your soul. It's what has separate messaging, and it's what keeps you in that constant survival mode, but at the same time away from thriving. And so the key is to connect with that inner core authentic part of yourself, okay? Because that's where your creativity is. That's what is going to help you thrive in the world. And that's what's going to help you create that independence. So really, the whole part about really accessing that authentic part of yourself is really about healing the unresolved pain. I find over the years that I've worked on myself, worked on other clients, that, you know, as we heal and transform the pain into wisdom, from the darkness into the light, we have more readily access to our soul, to our authentic part of ourselves, of the soul. And then we can also connect with, you know, our gifts, the pearl, so to speak, we carry and developed over many lifetimes. And, you know, we can then express or live in expression of our authentic self. And also without, you know, the worry or fear of being politically correct, or saying the right or wrong thing, or who's going to react to what you're saying. See, once you heal all this stuff, you're not going to have that. You're not going to have those kind of worries, you know. And that's when you can, you know, access your spiritual energy, your creativity, your motivation, you know, and, you know, the stuff that resonates truly with you, your beliefs, and you can stand strong in that and then express from the deeper parts of your beliefs. But see, here's the thing about it. You can't do that in a job. See, the job reminds me so much of slavery, okay? Because only through the industrial age have we come to work the job, working for somebody else. It's actually not very normal to work for someone else. We're not meant to be working for somebody else and being somebody else's puppet. You know, we're meant to work for ourselves. See, in a job, you're selling your time, you're selling your life, and you're basically focusing on developing somebody else's dream. That's where you're investing your time. Whereas in your work, when you're working for yourself, you're really investing in your dream. And you're investing or expressing from the authentic part of who you are, right? And so while a job may be appropriate in some cases, and we do have to make a living and so forth, but the ultimate drive into the higher dimensions is to work for ourselves, to work in expression of our authentic true selves. And so, yeah, but we need to get there, right? From where we are to where that is. And even with the pandemic, see, the evil out there right now in the spiritual war is supporting your ascension. Did you know that? Because look at how many people left their jobs as a result of this whole thing with COVID and the mandating vaccines and so forth, right? And it was a very clear definition of how, you know, your freedom is really being taken away, more so being in that environment of working for somebody else. See, at some point we hit these crossroads for ourselves where we can either go down deeper into the low vibrations, or we can move up into the higher vibrations and live a better life. And really the choice is yours based on what you do. Because what's happening out there right now in the spiritual war, more and more pain is being dished out. Well, the more and more pain you accumulate that's unresolved, that you don't fully process, the deeper you fall into the low vibrations, okay, to the point that it's burying you. And, you know, the denser you become, all right, and the harder it is to get up out of that. And, or if you keep healing on yourself, and I'm talking about professional healing, you know, not just sitting there and hoping that you're healing something. But, you know, that causes the opposite. It causes you to rise in vibration. It causes you to become lighter, okay? And that's how you can rise in vibration. And you can even process more pain then, okay? Because you're lighter. And so, you know, it's your choice as to whether you choose to work on yourself and do proper healing on yourself, or you choose to just have all that pain being dished out and keep falling in vibration. It is your choice. But this is where it's dividing people, let's say, okay? And I want you to become aware of it, because it takes a certain awareness to understand what's happening. So, you know, with the whole job thing, never have you been more supported than right now to really work for yourself and connect with your authentic part of yourself and live from your expression of that and live a fulfilling life, free as a soul, okay? And again, it depends on the choice you make, whether you're going to go up or you're going to go down. And that is your choice, okay? And so, you know, as to the job, you know, it's not easy to work for yourself because it requires different criteria, okay? Like, for example, there's certain things you may have to give up. Like, for example, the false sense of security you get working for someone else. You know, you get to come in every day and you get a paycheck. And so it develops this false sense of security that money just comes, you know, as long as you have this job. And when you're working for yourself, you have to create every dollar. And so you better be in your creative mode and your strength and, you know, your authenticity and, you know, but it actually is amazingly fulfilling when you can get to that point and you have created your own dollar, that you have created it. You did it, you know, it's amazingly fulfilling. And it's amazingly fulfilling to be living in this full expression of who you really are, your true beliefs, and, you know, being able to help others out there. So you may have to give up that false sense of security. You may also have to give up hiding behind some other company's logo or product, right? We can't do that when we work for ourselves. You have to kind of put your heart on your sleeve and let people see who you are. And they could judge you and see. That's what a lot of people are afraid of. And that's where healing really comes in, because, you know, when you can heal that unresolved past of when you've been judged, you know, so many times and hurt for it and all that good jazz and all the stuff you accumulated from past lifetimes, if you can lay that down, leave it in the past, then you're not going to have that fear anymore, and you can get out there and really live your full purpose. You know, we may have to give up when we leave the job, and when we work for ourselves, is floating, coasting through life. That's another thing a lot of us do, is coast through life. See, with working for yourself, you've got to have your motivation, you've got to have your ingenuity, you've got to have your spiritual power there and, you know, make things happen. Whereas in a job, all you have to do is show up and warm the chair. So, you know, quite often, you know, some people work harder than others, but nonetheless, that's kind of like the generic job thing, you know. But yeah, so it's a different animal. And then it's a way different animal when we're talking about a business as healers. We're not being taught anywhere to be healers, or in this society, in this lifetime, we're not, you know, being prepped for working even for ourselves in our schools, for working for ourselves. You know, so there's a lot of learning there to be done. And also as a healer, you have to go through your own personal growth. You have to be willing to work on yourself and heal yourself. A lot of healers I see out there, they're not doing that. And it's hard to be teaching or training people or helping people from a theory, all right? You have to do it through experience, you know, in this whole journey of awakening, of healing and so forth. We have to walk that path first before we can help somebody else. but it doesn't mean we have to fully complete it in order to help anybody else, okay? You can walk a portion of it and then help people walk that portion of it, you know? So, you know, there's a lot of things that go into preparing ourselves in the healing business. And also, it's not your traditional business where as in you just work for profit. See, as healers, what we're creating is really a movement, okay? It's far beyond just putting food on your table. It is actually, you know, it's greater than just yourself, all right? We're trying to help the world with this stuff. And we can definitely do that because we create our reality with our vibration. And, you know, as we, you know, all this stuff that we're experiencing right now with the whole spiritual war and everything that's going on in the world with COVID and Ukraine war with Russia and all that stuff, food shortage, we are creating that, you and I, with our vibrational energy. And therefore, here's the good news. Therefore, we can also change it, okay? All we have to do is change it in our vibration, change our vibration. And we can change our vibration each, and it starts with us individually. If we can do that, then you know what? We're contributing each individually into the collective consciousness and collective reality. And the more we actually help others do that as well, then we're changing more collective reality, okay? Until we can hit a tipping point and all of our collective reality is going to change for the better. See, that's why I believe that as healers, we can change reality. We can shape the new world, okay, to what we want. So in summary, you know, looking back at this whole Emerge as We Rise series, we've talked about, or I've talked about, you know, things like the first talk was the shocking truth as to why you're here, which basically in a nutshell was about, you know, your primary purpose here is to heal your unresolved pain, okay? Is to recollect those lost pieces of yourself and reintegrate them and repair your soul. You know, it is to come back into wholeness, and it is for you to reconnect with your spiritual self, with your authentic part of yourself. That's your primary purpose. And as you're doing that, you can help others do that too, okay? And that is your primary purpose here, all right? The second talk I did was why remembering is crucial to creating your future. And it's about remembering your past lifetimes, because as we remember, and not just remember, but also heal again the unresolved pain that we haven't fully processed from those lifetimes. As we heal and remember it and heal it, you know what? We're basically stopping that history from recreating itself all the time. Because right now, history is repeating itself. And you can see that, just listen out there to the topics that are coming up. Nazism, communism, socialism, dictatorship, women's rights. I mean, all that stuff is coming up. People talk about it. It's coming up energetically. We're reliving it to some degree. So what I'm saying is we can either focus on reliving history, all right, and keep recreating the same old stuff, staying in the third dimension and on that same treadmill, or we can stop that history from repeating itself because we've done that and been there, okay? And focus on creating a better future for ourselves. And that's why it's so critical to remember and to heal it. Only then can we stop it from keeping recreating itself, all right? And it's also in the process, it's about remembering who you are, because we come into this life and we forget who we are, what you've done. And so it's really critical to remember. And so then the third talk I did was about working and healing with energies and frequencies. and the amazing miracles we can accomplish with doing that mentally, with mental issues, mental health, physical health, emotional and spiritual health. We can have some amazing results with working with energies and frequencies. And, as we rise higher in vibration, we're going to be doing more and more of this. This is the future of medicine, basically. And once we rise high enough, we're not going to have as many of the health issues at all. So, because as we're becoming lighter, we're changing as we're rising higher in vibration. And so we talked about that. And, aligning with that authentic part of yourself, aligning with your soul is all about stripping that ego, because that's your survival mechanism. And that actually contains all this unresolved stuff, okay? That's acting as a clutter to your soul and impeding communication with your authentic self and with your soul, and impeding the communication you need to connect with it and to connect with the higher purpose and really hear yourself, okay? Because the clutter, the unresolved stuff has its own, voice, so to speak, in your head, and keeps yapping at you about, you can't do this, you can't do that, you've been there before, you got hurt there before, you can't go there, and so, you end up self-sabotaging or resisting to actually doing what you're meant to do in this lifetime. In so many lifetimes, we've been persecuted for our gifts. In this lifetime, this is your lifetime to shine. This is your lifetime to shine. But you have to heal the stuff, heal your unresolved pain in order to be able to, those are your blocks. Those are your roadblocks in order to be able to get out there and really shine. Okay. So what I'm saying to you here is, it's all possible to live this amazing life that's fulfilled and, in freedom and, expressing from our authentic self and being fulfilled with what we do, love what we do, and still being able to maintain and, support ourselves. It is possible to do all that, but we may have to do quite a bit of work to get to that point. All right. So, how do we get there? I mean, not everybody knows, I get that, or understands how to heal a past lifetime, how to even see a past lifetime, or how to, reintegrate your lost pieces of yourself, or how to find them, or how to come back into wholeness, or how to work with energies and frequencies to help yourself, get back into being physically healthy. So that's why, I've been at this now for 16 years, learning through spirit, learning through my own, spirit put me through hell learning stuff on my physical self and my spiritual self. It hasn't been easy. And I basically have devised a system for you where you can do that in a fairly short amount of time. I basically compacted my 16 years worth of knowledge and understanding and wisdom into this program I have created just for you called the 12-month Alchemy for Healers. And I've compacted those 16 years of understanding, knowledge, wisdom, and transformation into 12 months for you, okay? And so you don't have to keep recreating, taking that long, 16 years or more, all right? But you can become very effective very quickly and grow quickly and move through the process of really getting to the juicy good part of becoming healers and, getting out there and helping others. And whether it is, you want to get over your self-sabotage or resistance to what you really want to be doing, or you're having doubts, or you're having fears or anxieties, I've been there. I remember a time when, for the first time during my awakening part, when I first started awakening, I was seeing a shaman. And I remember for the first time when I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I could possibly be a healer. And this is before I was awoke enough to understand that I was a healer in past lifetimes, but the thought just occurred to me out of nowhere. And so I'm like, I got excited about it and I wanted to call a friend and talk about it. And I remember picking up the phone and I could not make the call. And all of a sudden, this wall of fear just came up in front of me that I had no idea was even there. And I couldn't stand in front of people and talk and say, I'm a healer or I'm a clairvoyant. I couldn't do it back then. There's no way. There's no way in hell I could do that. I had to heal myself every step of the way through the journey, through my growth of being able to do what I'm doing today. Every step of the way. And I am willing to show you the ropes, and actually for very inexpensively, because you might think that the system is long for 12 months or a year. No, it's not. I've been doing this stuff on myself for 16 years now. Healing is not something you should just consider doing like one healing here, one healing there. No, this is something you should be doing on a regular basis, working on yourself if we truly want to rise into the fifth dimension. This should be part of your life like brushing your teeth, okay? And so in this 12-month alchemy, I can teach you certain things and how to do that, how to develop the right habits, how to, recognize things when they're happening to you, why they're happening to you, and how to immediately resolve them, okay? And rise above it, okay? I can show you how to do that in the 12-month alchemy. It's basically the cost of it. I kept it very minimal because I'm hoping to work with larger, more people so I can keep the cost lower on per person basis. And so basically for around $100 a month, you can participate in this and actually grow and experience your own transformation, experience your own discovery of yourself, connect really with your soul purpose and with yourself, and learn so many things about how to detoxify the body, mind, and soul and grow through it so that you're able to go out there and shape the world and create that movement. The whole cost of it, you can pay for the whole year if you like, and it's actually far less than what I would charge normally for 10 sessions with somebody. And so for a whole year, working at your own pace through guided healings, you can have as many healings as you can muster in that whole year. Not just 10, 10 you can probably fit into like a couple of weeks if you wanted to, or 3 weeks. And so you have the whole year to work on yourself, to really get this down and start helping other people do the same thing. So I'm looking for a tribe. I'm looking for my tribe of people who really, feel like they want to do this thing. They want to go through that transformation. They're willing to, grow. They're willing to go out there, want to go out there and help with this new world. And, I'm happy to, help you do so, because from my perspective, see, this is my sole purpose, is to help you, because I realized that I cannot heal the world, by myself. Okay. I can't do it by myself. And so, we have to do it collectively together, because we need to hit that tipping point with people who are changing, who are growing, who are rising in vibration, so that we can all live from a love-based existence, so that we can all basically change the collective reality, and we can, live in full expression of who we are. And so here's my prize question to you today. And are you willing, are you open and willing to, do this? And do you want to know more about the 12-month alchemy? And if you say yes in comments below, that's all it takes to win. And I'm giving a prize to everybody who says yes in comments below underneath this video today. And I basically give you a free mini reading and then help you answer questions you have about the 12-month alchemy system. And also look at, what are your goals? Where do you want to go from here? What are you trying to accomplish? And is this 12-month alchemy, for you? Is it a good fit for you? So I'm willing to help you with that. And so on that note, I hope that you got some good juicy stuff out of this video. And I'm hoping to possibly work with you down the road. So give me a yes if you want to know more, if you want to win that free mini reading, and really look at where are you at, where are you going, what's going to help you. And so I love you guys, and I wish you a blessed rest of your day. Namaste.